Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad Nafizul Amin bin Azizan. Now, I will explain a little bit introduction for our topic, which is we will discuss about what is the effect of the price oil during COVID. Okay, before that, let me introduce what is COVID-19. Okay. The outbreak of coronavirus, or we call it as COVID-19 disease, in 2019 has created a global health crisis that has had a deep impact on the new we perceive our world and our everyday lives, especially on health and economics. COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused newly discovered virus that was spread by bat. It was first identified in 2019 in Wuhan, China, and has resulted ongoing pandemic. Common symptoms include fever, cough, fatigue, shortness of breath, and loss of smell and taste. While the majority of cases result in mild symptoms, some progress to acute respiratory distress syndrome, possibly precipitated by cytokine storm, multi-organ failure, septic shock, and blood clots. The time from exposure to onset of symptom is about typically around 5 days, but many range from 2 to 14 days. Okay, next. The virus is primarily spread between the people during close contact, most often via small droplets produced by coughing, which is from nose, maybe sneezing, and also talking. The droplets usually fall to the ground or onto surface rather than traveling through the air over long distance. However, research has on June 2020 has shown that speech-generated droplet may remain airborne for 10 of minutes. Less commonly, people may become infected by touching a contaminated surface and then touching their face. Because of that, Malaysia government make a new rule to their people to follow, which order that have been made in order to cure this crisis. The Movement Control Order, or we know it as MCO, is a cordon sanitaire implemented as a preventative measure by the federal government of Malaysia in response to the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. On 18 March 2020, the order was commonly referred to in local and international media as a lockdown or partial lockdown. COVID-19 also brings a big impact to our economy, especially which brings to global crisis, especially on oil price. As an economy dependent on the oil industry, few sectors of Malaysia stand to win from a drastic fall of price. Instead, the combination of economic slowdown from the COVID-19 and low oil price will make it a tough year for the Malaysia economy.
Next, I will present about the oil price decline factors. The whole world has been shocked by the biggest drop oil prices in history since trading on the New York Mercantile Exchange in 1983. West Texas Intermediate Oil or WTI prices fell below $0 per barrel to negative levels. In Malaysia context, the country's income is based on the Brent crude oil prices, not WTI. Brent crude oil prices also fell but was not as sharp as WTI. So, how can oil prices fall from zero to negative? To answer this question, the future trading process needs to be understood. I will give an example. A trader buy 1,000 barrels of WTI by January 2020 with an oil contract to be delivered in the future by May 2020. He expects the price rise, but we know that COVID-19 hit the world and dropped global demand and oil prices. Then As oil prices fall, the traders will not want to risk losing their contract at much lower price. If by May 2020 the trader does not sell his contract, then 1,000 barrels of oil will be sent to him physically. A major problem would have arisen if the trader had no physical facilities for the oil. Then, in the context of the decline in WTI oil price, it is due to the fact that the two factors contributing to the Covid-19 are also contributing to the excess production of WTI oil storage tank. The second factor is the deadline for the sale of crude oil futures contracts for May delivery at the New York Mercantile Exchange, or we call as NYMEX, effective 21st April 2020. As panic sales by large traders at NYMEX on 20 April has plugged WTI oil prices down to negative levels. The drop in WTI oil prices to negative numbers actually means there are WTI owners and contractors who have to pay to have their oil and their contracts for the month of May because they have no physical capacity to store the oil. The same case to the WTI oil producers, they are offering to pay for their oil so that the price is not only zero, it is negative because the producer has to pay to the buyer.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nazatul Afiqah binti Mohamad Nasrudin. My metric number is A19A0413. Okay, I will talk about impacts of reducing oil prices during pandemic COVID-19. First, it will reduce the fiscal and economic strength of the countries because oil and gas is the most important sector in many economies. Second, global oil demand was also affected as transport and industrial activities were restricted to prevent infection of COVID-19. Third, Malaysia is a major producer and exporter of oil until the reducing oil prices because of COVID-19 that makes government's revenue decreases. Next, as government revenue decreases, the government needs to review the budget allocation over time. When something such as pandemic COVID-19 occurs, there will be a cut in the country's budget. In addition to the cancellation of large-scale projects, termination of employment or layoffs are also among the measures taken to reduce costs. In conclusion, the government needs to reduce its dependence on oil resources by diversifying other sources of income. Most importantly, for now, all of people need to obey the Standard Operating Procedure (SOP) and hearing further instructions from the government. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shakira Binti Shaharudin with my number metric A19A0832. I will explain about my part, how the government or private institutions or people play their roles to overcome the highlighted issues. There are three ways the government or private institution or people play their roles to overcome the highlighted issues. First, to buy locally made petrol such as Petronas. This helps the economy recover with domestic currency cycle. According to senior professor of the Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Sarawak, Professor Datuk Dr. Shazili Abu Mansur, said the fall in oil prices due to COVID-19 will affect government revenue. If the government loses its contribution from Petronas, then the government will incur harsh losses in developing the country. Next, the government has given a lot of incentive to all nations to help their daily life when crisis COVID-19. In addition to providing money, the government has also provided basic needs to sustain groups so that they can continue their life during the COVID-19 outbreak. Finally, the government needs to control the prices of goods in each market. This is to ensure that every citizen enjoys the same price control provided by the government. The maximum price chain was implemented to curb the increase in price of essential goods by the traders.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad Asmadi bin Zahari. My metric number A15B1394. I want to talk about introduction. The breakdown of coronavirus 2019 COVID-19 has created a global health and crisis that has profound implications for the new world and our daily life, especially in health and economics. COVID-19 is an infection disease caused by a newly discovered virus spread by bats. It was first recognized in December 2019 in Wuhan, China, and caused an outbreak. Common symptoms include fever, cough, shortness of breath, and loss of smell and taste. The time from exposure to symptom onset is usually about 5 days, but may vary from 2 to 14 days. The virus is mainly transmitted to people during close contact, most often through small drops caused by coughing, sneezing, and talking. The drop usually fall to the ground or to the surface rather than moving through the air remotely. Less commonly, people may become infected by touching the contaminated surface and then touching their face. The Malaysia government has made a new mandate for its people to follow the order made to cure the crisis. The Movement Control Order 2012 MCO is a precautionary measure implemented as a precautionary measure by the federal government of Malaysia in response to the COVID-19 outbreak in the country on March 18, 2012. COVID-19 also has a major impact on the economy leading to global crisis, especially on oil price. As the economy depends on the oil industry, only a few sectors in Malaysia has suffered a drastic fall in price. On the other hand, the combination of economic slowdown from COVID-19 and low oil price will make the year of the Malaysia economy is difficult.